Let's face it, it's just an excuse for me to sing the song. Daggerheart. Daggerheart. Daggerheart, come and me want to go home. Come, Mr. Mercer Man, tell me about campaign 4. Daggerheart, come and me want to go home. Yeah, let's face it, it's the song. I don't know if you know about this, but this thing came out last week called Daggerheart. And we've been talking about this Daggerheart thing for a while now. It's come, it's made its impact, and yeah, people are talking about it. Even Diversity in Dragons and Pundit talked about it. Even Mr. Max Bolvin, one of the last people on the planet I thought would talk about it, talked about it. Everybody and their dog is talking about Daggerheart. I would just like you all to know I was one of the first. So why? Why are we talking about this game? Well, probably that guy. I don't think any of the Daggerheart press has anything to do with the actual content of the game. I'm going to say about the game now what I said about it when it was officially announced, and that has not changed. It does not matter one iota, boys and girls, how good or bad this game is. Now, as of today, I would say about 75% of the videos talking about it say it's either, well, it's a thing, it definitely exists, or hey, this is really, really good. A lot of them say this has got good ideas that I'd like to use, which is interesting. And then the remainder pretty much, this game, once you dust away the bells and whistles and actually get into the guts, kind of sucks. Kind of is a turkey. And now Diversity in Dragons definitely was not kind to it. Pundit definitely was not kind to it. A couple other people were definitely not kind to it. Unfortunately, a few of the people who weren't kind to it or people whose opinions on tabletop role-playing games I actually respect. And, a few of the people who said nice things about it or people whose tabletop role-playing games opinions I accept. I can now say that I did know somebody who was working on the game here in California. And so I had a little insider information on the playtest. Not a lot, but so yeah, we're all talking about it. And even people I never thought would talk about it, and we're talking about it. And why are we talking about it? Well, again, we're not talking about it because it is the best role-playing game ever made. We're not talking about it because it's the worst role-playing game ever made. It doesn't matter how good or bad the game is. The game will rise or fall specifically because of the Critical Role fan base. Critical Role only had its influence on the hobby because of the obsessive, often toxic Critical Role fan base. We can go down and say good things about it. We can go down to say bad things about it, but let's face it, they have earned their space in tabletop role-playing game history. It'll take a long time before we forget the influence of Critical Role over the past couple years. 5th edition owes its popularity to Stranger Things, but more importantly, to Critical Role. And the fact that Dungeons and Dragons got so huge during 2018 to 2023, again, Critical Role. 5th edition owes its big end of, its big jump to Critical Role. Critical Role brought people to the game who normally would not have played the game and opened up the doors to the game to a lot of people who maybe never did it before. And we can say good things about the fans. We can say bad things about the fans, maybe more bad than good. I don't know. That's neither here nor there. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the influence that this is having because people are talking about it. And people are talking about the mechanics. People are talking about the influence. It's doing exactly what it said it was going to do. And it's talking about it. The fans are talking about it. It is getting free press. Well, it doesn't matter whether we're talking good things about it or bad things about it. We're talking about it. And that is what Mercer and company are relying on. The fact that it is bringing attention to the product. Again, the product will rise or fall on the fan base. If the fan base jump on the Daggerheart grenade, it'll be huge. Will it be as huge as Critical Role? Maybe. Could it be bigger than Critical Role? Quite possibly. Or could it crash and burn like Candle Obscura? Again, possibly. Now, right now, I'm 70-30. 70% of me thinks that if they market this and run with it the way I think they should and will, it'll be huge, and it'll make them a lot of money, and it'll bring a lot of attention to that corner of the tabletop role-playing game hobby. Whether that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing, remains to be seen. We could look at the previous incarnation and see, well, yeah, some good, some bad. Some would say mostly bad. It depends. It's hard because it depends upon your opinion. For every person who says that Critical Role was the best thing to happen to tabletop role-playing games since the 20-sider, there's another person who's going to say it was absolutely awful. Now, my personal experience, as you know, has been mostly negative, but that's the fans. And, as I have gotten older and time has passed, I've softened. And I'm, at the point where, okay, fine, I guess, whatever. But then the fans do something toxic and I'm like, see, but yeah, my personal experience obviously taints my view. Taint. Well, your personal experience with Critical Role over the past couple of years might have been extremely positive, and that would obviously taint your view. So we have the Critical Role in the box. So we know that it is, it is $1 million multimedia thing that shows no sign of slowing down. They've got more TV shows coming out. They've got more projects coming out. It's just going to be a thing, and it's never going to go away, at least not for a very long time. We'll have the Critical Role video game. We'll have the Critical Role role-playing stuff. We'll have cartoons. We'll have action figures. We'll have toys. We'll have comic books. We'll have books set in the universe. They can milk Critical Role for a while. So now we move on to today. We move on with the beginning of campaign 3.5. It's not campaign 4 because it's a miniseries. Yes, it is. Umbra, the Daggerheart campaign that they've started. A bunch of other people have started doing Daggerheart campaigns. So are we jumping on the Daggerheart bandwagon because we know it'll bring attention to our channel? Or do we actually have something to say about Daggerheart? Now, again, some of the reviews have been amazingly positive. Some of the reviews have been amazingly negative. The main review, the chunk of the review, if you push away the positive bells and whistles and you push away the negative bells and whistles and you just get to the heart of 90% of the reviews, it all boils down to the same thing, which I think is the great selling point and the potential disaster of Daggerheart. Daggerheart is not its own thing. It is a hodgepodge smorgasbord of bits and pieces from other role-playing games that these people took and smooshed together and made a new thing. So you're going to read through Daggerheart and you're going to go, hey, I know that. It's from X. Or, hey, I like that. I'm going to steal it and use it for my game. Or, hey, everything in here is really dumb. But we're going to see that there's a lot of stuff in Daggerheart that looks really familiar. But that's because Daggerheart is based upon Blades in the Dark, which is based upon Powered by the Apocalypse, which is based upon Fudge and GURPS and Theatrics and all those other games that came out. But yeah. So the blood and souls of Daggerheart is a hodgepodge, a landscape of mechanics from other games. So that's either something you're going to love or something you're going to hate. But it's obviously an aspect that we need to consider. We also, again, repeatedly, this is going to be the thing. It's the fans. It's the fans. It doesn't matter if you like the game, Nectro Wolf. It doesn't matter if you hate the game, Bonus Action. It doesn't matter if you have no idea what you're talking about and don't even have the game, Scott Garrity. It's the fans. If the fans love this, then they will push it forward for the next years, several years. It's got at least a 3 to 5 year lifespan if the fans obsess with it the same way they obsessed with it Critical Role. Whether they're positive or negative, it doesn't matter. That's the fan base, and that's what will propel it through the future and allow us to have Daggerheart books, Daggerheart comic books, Daggerheart the animated series, Daggerheart the breakfast cereals, Daggerheart action figures, Daggerheart the flamethrower. If the fans turn on it like Candle Obscura, then it'll die within a year. So now let's address, what Pundit said about it. RPG Pundit, who apparently has me blocked for some reason, but whatever. I probably said something bad about him. Daggerheart sales are meaningless to the hobby. Short term, I disagree. Long term, you're absolutely right. Because the hobby will exist before, during, and after Daggerheart. Daggerheart sales won't really affect D&D right away, possibly a year from now. And in the great future of whatever the hobby's going, will the sales matter? Will Daggerheart matter? And that's the big question that, Pundit asks. This vanity project that is Daggerheart, will it matter? Is it going to topple D&D from its throne? Yeah. Topple D&D from the throne? Who knows? Doubtful. But who knows? Again, if the fans just gobble this thing up, it's already sold out, right? So we know it's already made a huge chunk of cash, but is it going to topple D&D from the throne? Probably not, at least not right away. But again, we know that Wizards of the Coast is the #1 enemy of Dungeons and Dragons, and Wizards of the Coast could very well, by their actions or inactions, do more damage to Dungeons and Dragons than any other product. So it could topple D&D from the top of the mountain. Not this year, but definitely it could do it next year. It depends on how Mercer and company run with it. If they do it intelligently, then yes. If they drop the ball like Candle Obscura, then Daggerheart will be dead a year from now. And they'll have to, I don't know what they'll do. Whether they'll go back to D&D or just stop doing live plays. Whatever. That's a separate topic, but I think Critical Role has grown past just a bunch of nerds playing D&D on YouTube. So do they still need to do live plays? Probably not. The video games, the anime, the books, the comic books, the action figures, the whatever else they're going to do, probably they could coast on that for a long time because, and then just, do live plays at conventions. Hi, Steve. So does Daggerheart matter? Well, it matters at the moment because people are paying attention to it. People are talking about it. Will it matter in the future? I don't know. It has a lot of mechanics that people think are cool. A lot of mechanics that are getting, hey, that's really cool. I want to steal that from X. But on the other hand, you look at those mechanics and go, hey, wait a minute. That's all these mechanics you just stole from other games. You just put them all in a place where I can now see them and steal them. And a lot of people are talking about converting those rules to their game. So we not like Daggerheart on its own, but we like what Daggerheart is showing us that we can steal. So yes, there's going to be people who thinks it's wonderful, people who thinks it's awful. There's going to be random porn ads because this is the interweb and everything is porn. Even Grim Jim is reviewing it. Another person who, like Grim Jim, reviewing Daggerheart. So yeah, what does the future hold? Will Daggerheart matter? For people like me, well, there might be mechanics in it. I'll go, yeah, I'll steal that mechanic eventually someday. I don't think it matters because I'm an OSR old school OGL player. It's not going to affect my bottom line because the people who play the kind of games I like to play and run are still going to be the kind of people who run and play the games I like to play and run. And the Daggerheart's not going to affect them. Will I play Daggerheart? Sure. If somebody invites me to a Daggerheart game, I'll give it a try. I'm not going to buy it. Not only can I not afford it, not only do I know I'll never use it, but I'd be afraid, I'd be afraid I'd lose the parts. Daggerheart has all those little stupid gimmicks that come with it. And to me, that's just a detriment. To me, that just constantly has me going, but what if I lose the card? What if I lose the chit? Can I play without the cards? Why did you feel the need to add the cards? Well, we know why you felt the need to add the cards, the collectability and the opening up the market to the Etsy creators. The cards means people on Etsy can make, homebrew card systems and flavor them and then sell them on Etsy. And then they can go, why just use the normal Etsy deck? Why just use the normal deck of cards that came with Daggerheart when you can get these super special purple flowery Lovecraftian cards that I made on Etsy that supports the game, that supports the economy behind Critical Role, that supports the fan base, and that supports some artist on Etsy who's making their version of the cards. And it's going to happen. So, yeah, everybody's talking about it because it's a thing. Will we still be talking about it a week from now, a month from now, a year from now? Don't know. It depends on the fans. Nothing I say matters. Nothing pundit says matters. Nothing you or that guy over there or Steve the Cat says about Daggerheart matters, because we are the minority. The majority are the millions of people over the world who love Critical Role or hate Critical Role, depending upon what day of the week it is. They're the ones who are going to decide if it's big and carries Mercer and Company through the next couple of years, or if it's a failure like Candle Obscura and every other thing they've done that wasn't D&D. Now, I don't see them going back to Dungeons and Dragons, at least not to 6th edition, but I don't know. It's one of those things where you can't predict the outcome. I can't predict the outcome of Daggerheart because it is based upon a very fickle fan base and how they embrace it or choose not to embrace it. So, yeah, that's my final line on talking about Daggerheart. What's your thought on Daggerheart? Let's face it, anytime I talk about it is an excuse to sing the song. So.
Roll the dice and ride the wave. Quest and dragons, the news we crave. Under neon lights we take a stand.